We're live. I didn't even give you a countdown, did I? So I was going back in time and I got lost. We got really in depth. We were talking in the green room, and that's what happens when you look behind you. A friend of mine used to go to India a lot. He says what they tell the Indians do is when they get the cars, they break off all the side view mirrors in their rearview mirror because they don't want to look behind them. They're going forward. And that's kind of how I am. But I was going back, getting some graphics from some of the past videos that we've done for the Magic for Seniors group. And that's what we're going to kind of rehearse right now. We got a comment already. Who in the heck is it? Oh, it's this guy, Facebook user. Hello, Facebook user. Let's go get Steve. He can probably knock some sense into me. Steve, oh, come and help me.
Who is that mystery Facebook guy? We don't know. So
Well,
he doesn't want us to know who he is. So
you have to protect people.
We're glad he's here.
Paul Ladig, he's from Florida. Hi, Paul. How you doing? When you coming back to Minneapolis?
Paul?
We got another Facebook user. Good morning.
Oh, we got more than one. Oh, okay.
When you go in the Facebook group, you'll see their names, but for some reason, they don't want people to know that you're streaming them.
I got
permission.
Well, they can say that they can put their names in there if they wish to do so, but
it's a process.
We're happy to have them. So we have our list of our previous podcasts, and the reason we're doing this is basically to draw attention to the fact of some of you may missed some of these podcasts, and there's some juicy material information in these podcasts, which Brad and I have worked on, and so we're wanting to just kind of go over a few of them. So we're going to do several things today. One thing is he's going to eventually give you a link where you can go and all of them are listed. Is that right, Brad?
Did you say eventually?
Oh, okay.
It's right there. For those that don't know, it's magicbrad.com/magicians-for-seniors.
Is that your page that you sent me that had them all listed?
That is a plugin in WordPress that's called Pretty Links that allows you to put this stuff on there, and what it does, it immediately.
I'm going to look at that. I'm curious to see what that looks like. Yeah, here we are.
What that link will do is it'll redirect immediately to a page that I built that has multiple videos on it.
You haven't posted it yet in the group thing yet. Okay, that's all right.
I can do that right now.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. So that will be a quick resource for you to go to which is a link that leads you to several of the last few videos that we've covered that has, I said, the juicy, meaty stuff. If those are words I can use. Anyway, and we also have I have a great announcement, and actually I have almost two at the end, so let's not forget them, okay? So are you gonna? Did you do that yet?
Well, I'm going to put that thing. I'm in the process of putting that thing into the seniors group, but I don't want to distract them from listening to what you have to say.
Yeah, right. Well, what I want to do is I want to put up the banners here for one of the podcasts that we did. So
some of the past ones. Okay, I only managed to get a few of them because we've done a lot of videos, Steve.
Yeah, I know. I had a list of 8 of them here, and that's not all of them, So
this is the one for today. Dun dun dun. Magicians for Seniors. And the other one is this one.
Okay, let me talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
That information is rare. I don't know anybody in the magic world who's talking about that openly.
You mean those platforms?
Yeah, those platforms. The reason why is because they don't disclose the secrets behind their involvement, and it's also a controversial issue. But those are platforms that magicians have been using or will be using, and I'm going to give you another one. This is one of the 2 announcements I have. I just signed on to a new one. Are you ready for this game? It's called Gig Haven. gighaven.com. And I just put a profile on there. I don't know anything about them other than the fact that they're probably from England, because most of the magicians that are on there are out of England. And but they do promote it within the United States on the internet. And so I created a profile. Now, how they work, I don't know. I went ahead and put my profile in and I got approved. So mine's live. If you type in Magician Steve Hart, you're going to find my profile. So there's another profile to go look at. So far, they haven't asked for any money. So I don't know if it's a free one or what's. Sometimes they'll kick off these new platforms and they'll make them free until enough people signed up on them. So now's the time to jump in there if you want to promote yourself through that platform. So that's the thing about that podcast that we did is there's some good things and bad things about using those platforms, and we discussed those in that video. So you have another one?
I do. Let me go grab a little brand graphic here. This one is
real fast. Okay, the pros and cons of performing for a not-for-profit group. That's an issue that could be very frustrating. And the main thing I wanted to point out about that was there's both benefits and also some pros and cons. In other words, meaning, you do things you don't want to do, you might not want to do them. And one of the things I also wanted to point out in that video, if you didn't get to watch it, is if you get contacted by a not-for-profit organization and they're saying, will you do the show for us? We'll give you a certificate as a tax write-off. That does not fly. That is not a legitimate. You can give product, but you cannot give your time or services. So that's something to be pointed out. And
that's an old loophole, but that's an interesting way of doing it, because you could create a whole bunch of magic kits and say, if you buy all these magic kits,
right, you can do that. Right. All right. So what's next one?
Okay, I've only got one more, and then we can go to the page. It's this one. Getting paid. What is the going rate for senior shows?
Yeah, that a lot of people ask me that. I had someone just contact me just in the last week and say, what are you getting for doing nursing homes or retirement centers? What kind of prices are you getting? So I came right out and told them the truth. I don't hold anything back. We're not making a lot of money in this, but the reason why is because these activity directors who hire you are on a limited budget. And so, you need to know what can be made and how they're going to pay you. And we talked about that in the video. So go watch that video.
We talked about some ways of getting more by talking to a different person within the same organization.
We did. Yes, that's right.
And here's a little message from our friend Paul. Is it best to meet your client in person or message back and forth?
No,
person.
We're magicians. We're entertainers. We're peoples. Is that the word I'm going to use?
People.
The point I'm making is go see them. Yes, if you can. But the problem is, quite often, if I stop into a facility and ask for the activity director, they're busy. They don't have time to come see me. So I make the initial contact through direct mail or a phone call, and then I go from there. But yes, the best way to cinch it is to meet them face to face. But it's not always easy in this industry. So.
A lot of time. If you got to drive over, that's a half an hour. Then you got to drive back. That's an hour. And the meeting might take an hour.
Well, when I was doing corporate work, I always pushed for that. If they would call me up and I'd say, let me come by and meet with you, and I go over and I had a portfolio I would show them, and I would do a little demonstration of magic, and I cinched it. But, I was making 3 or 4 times the amount of money I'm making at the nursing homes.
But knowing that in person is a sort of a quantum leap over the relationship building process, you could do a thing like a little demonstration for senior facility managers, event coordinators, and invite them all to see your showcase.
We talked about that, about showcasing your talent and doing that type of thing. But
there's always ways.
Those opportunities are rare, So.
Well, you make them yourself is what I'm getting at.
Oh, well, if you can do that, if anybody's doing that, let me know. I want to know how that goes for you. So
I used to be part owner of the Funny Bone Comedy Club. It was a thing that Danny Fleshman had set up here in Minneapolis. And I invested into it. So that gave me the opportunity to do those open mics. And what I would do is I would invite my prospective customers to come on in. I would comp them with a front row seat. And now I get to showcase myself in front of General Mills and Pillsbury and Target. So it
And
can
I
be
will-
done if you figure out.
Hear that too. Hear how that goes. Yes.
You got to get creative. So I'm looking at our little group right here. The other one is, why do we perform our shows? Money, fame, or fun?
Well, we talked about, are there wrong reasons for performing magic, and I pointed out a couple, even though it really comes down to the individual because it's a heart judgment, and the main thing is, if this is your passion, if magic is your passion, that's what you need to be doing. It's not really about the money. We talked about that too in that podcast.
Rewind a little bit. Brian Richards sent me a private message on Facebook, and he said, was that booking site Gig Haven or Gig Heaven?
Oh, did I say Haven? I meant Heaven.
Gig Heaven.
Gig Heaven. You could just Google it, and you'll see the link.
That's what he said. He saw that one.
I might have said Haven. Oh, forgive me.
So the next one is, who and what is your competition?
Yeah. We all have this mental block in our mind about our competition and what we think is we're competing with. And when it comes to activity directors, you're not competing with other magicians. In fact, I had one just the other day who said, we've never had a magician. Hey, I'm here. And they were excited to have me. So it's usually, musicians and storytellers and so on. And even then, it's not just that. It's also their outings. I mean, the seniors, they love outings, but directors can't give it to them on a regular basis.
The point is, sometimes you're not competing with another person. You're competing with an activity.
Yes. And the real competition is ourselves. We're competing with ourselves. What we think, I can't do that. I can't do that. Well, maybe you can. Just let it go, Anyway.
Yeah, I like the collaborative idea. If there is a storyteller that wants to work, maybe you can partner up and say they're going to do a little 15 minutes of storytelling, and then I'm going to do a 20-minute magic show, and you get 2 for 1, and then split the fee.
Okay.
Collaboration. Put together a whole variety show for them.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, what else we got after the competition? We did the pros and cons of performing for not-for-profits.
Mm-hmm.
We did the one about getting paid. Getting repeat bookings. How's that one?
Yeah, we were talking in that podcast about the fact that the opportunities to get repeat bookings is very high. And the reason why is because they have to have entertainment on a regular basis. And that audience is growing.
I was kind of morbid. I thought because they die off, so you got to circulate them, right?
Well, there's that aspect of it too, but that generation of seniors is growing. And so, what was it they said? 1 out of every 5 people will, by the year 2035, will be a senior, over 65. So
It's happening fast, yeah. Here's some comments we can touch on. It says, has anyone here ever gone back pictures of something besides magic with their children, like trivia or singing? I'm not sure what that means. Has anyone here ever gone back pictures?
Well, what I'm getting out of that is seniors love to remember, things. And so in fact, I'm going to spill the beans here. I'm getting ready to put out a trick for myself. I'm trying to make it for myself. It's a folder with a TV set on in front of it from the 50s. And I talk about TV shows from the 50s. And I ask them their favorite one. And when I open it up, it's I Love Lucy on the inside.
Okay.
It's I Love Lucy. And then I close it up and I say, but now we have to change the channel. Remember how you had to get up and manually change the channel? They love this. And you open it up and say, oh no, look, it's the Honeymooners now, And then I flip it back. So it's basically a sucker thing where, I pull the card out of the folder of the TVs, and you say, well, what's on the other side? I said, well, I know you think it's the Honeymooners, but remember back in the 50s, the TV stations went off the air, and I turned around, it's the test screen that they used to have on the. So I haven't made it yet. I'm getting ready to make it, but the point my idea came to my mind was bringing people back to memories, things from that they remember.
I think that's really powerful. Have some rabbit ears behind there, so you can pull up the old rabbit ears. And you could do the joke. The way you change the channel is grab a pliers, because remember when the knob would get lost because the kids would lose it, and you have to use the pliers to change the channels.
Yeah, I'm sure those are other things we can talk about. Yeah.
Okay, what do we got else going on here? See if we got one more. We got marketing your magic to book more shows for seniors. And how are you positioned in the eyes of your clients? That's a
Right.
good one for you. You like that one,
For
positioning.
those of you that remember, I put out a series of videos on marketing for senior audiences. And in there, I talked about positioning yourself. And so that's what's about. What that means is in the activity mind, the mind of an activity director, where are you positioned? What's their impression of you? Are they thinking about wanting you back, or are you're totally out of the picture? So there are certain things you need to do that you can do, and we talked about that in that podcast.
See, that's an interesting point. Did you impress them with the magic? Because they're going to think magic is a good thing. We got to get somebody new next time. Or did you impress them with you?
Right.
That's good. We got to get him again next time.
That is exactly right. I stress the fact that it's me that they're wanting back. It's not just the magic,
Right.
But
The way that you price yourself is you say you're paid by performance, not by the hour.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have trouble understanding that, and that's okay. I will make my point and relax on that. I will give them a full hour. I just told one the other day. I said it may be 55 minutes and maybe an hour and 10 minutes. Because I'm basically going to give the audience what they want. So.
And that's the only ones that I've got on the that page. But on that page, there's a link to go to my YouTube channel, and you can sort through them. I haven't got them organized very good, so you're going to see a lot of the other stuff that I'm doing. But you can pick and choose.
Okay. The whole object is that to let people know that we have made several podcasts with a lot of information that's valuable. And recently, I have an e-newsletter I send out every once in a while, and to about 500 magicians, and I have their emails. So in the newsletter last week, I listed several of these podcasts and said, hey, you might want to go check these out. And I immediately got responses back from people on my email list who are not members of our group and that didn't know about the podcast. And they were saying, thank you, valuable information, so.
Yeah, so go and check out those videos, get that information, get educated, because your competition is coming to get smart.
Okay, are you ready for the big announcement? You have that banner? You have that banner, that little, it's a website. It's called Seniorly.
Oh, where in the heck did I put that?
Yeah, you know where that is? Okay. What this is, gang, is I have found a company. There it is. That's them. Yeah. Go type in Seniorly. And what they have is a list of all the nursing homes or retirement homes in your area. So you you go to Seniorly, then you type in your location, and then they will give you a list. And the list is very well put together. Basically, all I need is the address and what else? Something I need. I can't remember what else I meant. What else do I need, Brad, for my mailings?
You need the.
Oh, I just put activity director. I don't put a person's name. I'm not because quite often I'll send a postcard out and I'll put someone's name will be on there and it'll be sent back to me because that person no longer works there. And so I just put activity director, then the name of the facility, and then their address. And you can pull all that information off of this. And this is a national directory. And so I stumbled across it just the other day and I thought, wow, this is great. So go look at that. And yeah, that's it. Go look at that and do your locations, pick the cities that you live in and the cities around you, and help develop a contact list.
So I'm assuming that this company probably realized there's a whole big boom of the boomers that are coming into the seniors realm. So they want to create this directory where everybody can get access to it. And
I will mention again, just yesterday, this industry is changing. Since I've been focusing on performing for senior audiences, I've noticed that several nursing homes and retirement facilities have closed. Yes, I drove by one the other day, empty, completely empty. And down the road is a new one. So the corporations are selling and buying and building. There's new ones coming up all the time. So now I'm having to maintain my contact list far more than I would have used to. So, and hopefully this website will help. Hopefully they'll keep it current.
Oh, someone asked about the video thing. I put the link in the Facebook.
Yeah, we could post a link on here, but it wouldn't do any good. You'd have to, if you want a live link, So go to the
You can find it right here.
Magicians.
If you can read that, it says magicred.com/magicians-4-seniors.
Oh, so you did create a link. Oh, yeah.
So that link will take you to the page that I created this morning when Steve wanted this done. I knocked it out real fast. And there's a button on there so you can go to the actual YouTube channel and look through all of them.
Yeah.
And you have to go to the live tab. It's not in the regular videos. It's the live. Because these are
you got a lot of videos, Brad. Yeah, you have to go to the live tab on Brad's YouTube channel. So
yeah.
All right, that's all I really had for today.
Well, cool.
I'm going to invite members to. We need your input. We need your questions. If you present some questions soon, we'll address them in our next week's podcast and kind of go from there. So,
yeah, especially if it's something that's marketing related. I love coming up with creative ideas to do that kind of stuff. And as far as performance, there's ways to do things that make things a lot easier. You don't necessarily have to have a big box show to do a good presentation.
Yeah, I think you and I watched Tom Antion's material last week. It was just phenomenal. His insight is very valuable. I will say, let me just say this one more time. The Marketing for Senior Audiences video series is available to you for free. If you've not watched it, please do. But I offered it to this group first. So now I'm getting ready to offer it to other magicians outside our group. So I'm just letting you know you're having first dibs on this, and if you want to take advantage of that, please do.
Yeah, let's see.
You have more questions?
I'm looking here to make sure we got everybody all covered.
I gotta watch my time. I have a birthday party for a senior this afternoon. I gotta drive over to Orlando.
He's working.
Yeah, I'm so happy. So happy.
There's how you get a hold of Steve-O.
That's one way. Yeah.
One way. Yeah, the other way is on Facebook. You can find you on LinkedIn. You just Google the name and you find Kevin Hart, and then you got to kind of go around.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week, gang.
Okie doke. Steve-O is gone. There we go. So that's all I got for you. That's all we got for you. There's someone else that had a little comment. See if I can answer it real quick. Mailbox power. Yes. Someone said mailbox power is great. If you like using postcards, talk to Steve about that. Okay. That's it. Be good. Be good. Be good. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. Be nice.